The following broadcast contains strong opinions, playful antics, and controversial topics causing off-the-rails fun. Chances for being offended are higher than average for sensitive people. Viewer discretion is not advised. Live a little and have some fun.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Coach episode 202. It's time for fall sports and school. Fellas, how's it going tonight?
Doing all right.
Yeah, I had my first day back at work. Woo-hoo. Go Blackcats.
You excited about that?
It was a good first day.
Yeah. Did you do any great PD?
We actually got to work in our classroom the entire day today.
What? Zach is like, what? Why haven't I ever got to do that?
We got to do that pretty much today, outside of maybe the first hour.
Yeah,
it was good.
It was pretty awesome, man. It was pretty awesome that we got to work in our room the entire time today. It was pretty pumped. Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
It was
what
awesome.
about you, Chris?
I had to go to the new teacher stuff, which is always fun to learn about stuff that, I didn't know anything about, like knee evaluations, like never had any idea about that. There was some stuff that would have been really great. I get there and I'm trying to learn. I've never used Infinite Campus. I've been either Tyler Sys or Skyward my entire teaching career. So 18 years of one of the two. Yeah, they have Infinite Campus, and I'm sitting down there. I'm like, okay, let's go. Open everything up. I have no kids. Everybody else is, working on stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. I help me. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my hands right now. So they come over, and it's like, oh, your caseload, because I'm doing special ed. Hell, your caseload has been put in. It's like, great. I can't do any of the stuff that everybody else is doing right now. So I'm a little behind on that. I do have some pretty good teachers to help me with stuff. So they've all been really nice. Zach, I was telling Jason that my room is probably one of the worst rooms in the school. It was so bad that I kind of went into a little demo mode, and I'm actually painting my classroom.
Are you really?
And Zach,
I thought you said you were never, ever going to be painting ever again.
I did say that.
Especially at school. I was going to say, it must have been much needed.
Zach, I will send you pictures of what it had before.
Okay.
All right. So you guys know this from being in education. I'm not saying this to slam anyone who's in maintenance or custodial, but maintenance 101, when you need to put up a whiteboard, but there's a chalkboard there. What do you do? Ready, go, answer.
Well, like, what do you do? Or
all right,
you're
done. No, you're thinking way too much. I got a chalkboard and there's a whiteboard. I need a whiteboard. You know what I'm going to do?
Chalkboard down and then put the whiteboard up.
No, that's too hard because there's, it's fastened with liquid nail and, anchor screws. I'm going to put that thing right over top of it. And then I'm going to put some bulletin board around it. And then that whiteboard's one of those cheap ones. So I'm going to take an actual really nice whiteboard and I'm going to put it over top of all that. And that's exactly what happened. Oh, and there was an air conditioning unit that they put wood paneling around over top of the chalkboard. So there's a chalkboard behind the air conditioning unit, behind the wood paneling. So it looked really tacky. And listen,
Sounds
there's
beautiful.
a lot of really great improvements being done to our school district. So I'm excited about that. But this is one of the old parts of the building. And when I ripped that chalkboard and all the other boards that were there together off, there was no paint. It was the original wall when the school was built in 1955.
I was going to say, was Jimmy Hoffa back there?
No, I didn't find him. I looked. So I have been in the process between meetings, mind you, of painting and demoing my room. It does look a lot better at this moment, not done, but it does look a lot better.
There you go.
So there's that.
There
but I hate painting with a passion. I mean,
dude, it's one of the worst things.
That
it is
I really
one of the worst.
Freaking hate painting.
It's one of the worst things ever to do, ever.
It's terrible. But I mean, listen, I've got a little PTSD from painting back in the day. Okay, you guys got to understand. Big Jim is he's a perfectionist, so sure. Good thing is he'll never get to see the room, so not a big deal because he probably won't come and check it out. But I mean, I'm like, God, there are things I took shortcuts on that I'm not proud of just because. I just want to get done. I got to get done for Tuesday and put the room all back. So it is what it is. Anyway.
New Year's, what you're saying.
So school's back.
School.
You know what else comes with school?
Sports.
What comes with school being back in? That's right. Fall sports.
They're
sports.
Back.
Jason,
the leader
had football going.
Yeah, leader had the football preview of the small schools in there. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not sure if I read this right. I'm looking at the Grandview thing, and it said the second paragraph said it also would help to have more than 14 in uniform, but that's the coach's head count as the program battles an old problem of low turnout.
Wow.
So Grayview was not terrible. They started out like 2-0 last year, and they had a key player get hurt right at the beginning of the season last year. And I mean, if that's true though, 14 kids, that's tough.
That's tough. I can tell you from experience, being out there in junior high, we finished our last ball game against DeSoto. We had 10 kids in uniform, and DeSoto was nice enough to kind of take it easy on us once we got to that point of needing to be, taking easy on us. But man, that's tough for varsity. That's tough. I thought I saw something maybe where Crystal had some number issues in the leader as well. Maybe.
I did not get to Crystal's. I was just looking at ours, but I had Crystal's pulled up here with 12 to 15 players attending camps over the summer. New head coach, who of course is dear to my heart, and Adam Sims was one of my assistant coaches for a while, is taking over that and going to lead that program over there. I'll tell you what, in the picture they have in the leader, though, got some big kids. They have some big linemen there.
Yep.
And, it's just a struggle, though, if they only have – last time I talked to Coach Sims, we texted earlier this week, and he had 18 there.
Oh, good.
And he said he had 3 or 4 more that were coming. So he's hoping to be at least 20 plus.
Good.
And I mean, that's going to be hard. I mean, they start off with they're playing Sykeston week 1. Sykeston.
Wow.
Week 1.
Wow.
So interesting. I mean, I don't think this is just a Jefferson County problem. I just think football across Missouri is not as, not everywhere. Not everyone has this problem, but
so in my current events class, we would talk about this issue year after year, and it's always interesting to get the kids debate, get the kids opinions on this. So when we would debate, and we would talk about the issue of concussions and injuries, Do you think, Jason, since you are the football coach amongst us, three Musketeers here, do you think that's a situation where are we seeing the issue of injuries or concussions affecting numbers, or is it something different in your opinion?
There's so many things I want to say here, but I gotta be PC. But
okay.
I don't know that it's
no,
I don't know that it's a kid issue as much as maybe even parents nowadays aren't big on their kids playing football. I don't think. I really don't. I mean, because of what you're saying, because of injuries, because of concussions, because of new things coming out with CTE and all this stuff. I mean, I'm not sure people are encouraging their kids as much to play football. And let's be honest, football's freaking hard. Like, even today it was 85 degrees, but it felt kind of warm and muggy at our practice today.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't think it was that bad, but I could see it on our kids today. And
it's been so mild.
And it's been so nice. But I just think that football's a hard sport, man. You get bumps, you get bruises, you get, I mean, I played with numerous injuries. Heck, this shoulder surgery I just had, I blame on football. I mean, I was having stingers my senior year of college football almost every practice, where as the last couple weeks of the season, they wouldn't even let me practice when it was hitting. I couldn't hit. I only got to hit on the game on Saturdays, like my last 3 or 4 games I played in my college career. And so I don't know. I mean, I just don't know that sports is a high priority in a lot of people's lives anymore when it comes to high school kids.
Do you think? Okay, let me ask you this.
I think that's. I don't know. I might be a little delayed on this. I think that you can see that with the participation in all sports. The numbers are down across the board for almost every single school and every single sport. Now, there are exceptions. There are things that you still have a lot of turnout for. But if I had to say on the average football, there's definitely a lower number of kids that are playing. Obviously, I've seen it in basketball. It's harder sometimes to field 3 teams. At Pius, the first 3 years, we always had a freshman team. And in the last couple of years, we couldn't because we just didn't have the numbers to be able to do that. So, and it's not just here. It's everywhere. Kids don't want to do things. I do look back. I agree. I look back at the COVID stuff where kids sat at home and didn't do anything. And I hate blaming it on that, but a lot of times that if you think about it, it's like, well, this is what I'm doing, so I'm not going to do anything else. And it wasn't just the spring season that we lost. That's spring, summer. A lot of schools didn't do stuff in the fall, depending on where you were. So the kids didn't play sports, or your parents didn't want you to have a chance of getting sick. So that's like a lost year from the shutdown up until things kind of everything opened back up. So kids are like, well, I don't want to do it. So in that stage of being a freshman, now I don't want to do it. So yeah, I could see where the participation has dropped as far as numbers, and it's just a struggle, in some of these sports.
Now, let me ask you this. Let's add a layer, in your opinion, specialization. So instead of that 3-sport stud, that 3-sport athlete, now he or she is only focusing on 1 sport. And so is that affecting the numbers and the statistics across the board with whether it's fall, winter, or spring athletics?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I look back at my son, he was the Herkies Post-Dispatch Scholar Athlete or whatever, right? And I think a big reason why he was chosen was he played 3 sports, and he was one of the only boys that, not one of the only, but there was a low percentage of athletes that played 3 sports and then had the grades. And so you don't see too many of those anymore. I mean, Tanner Duncan's out for football this year, if you didn't know that. He's a kid that hasn't always played all 3 sports, but this year we got him out for football. I think he's going to help us at wide receiver, and we got him, playing some defense, and he could probably return kicks. He's an athlete. And you just don't have, and he's a baseball. I mean, come on, baseball's his sport. but he plays now. He's playing 3 sports, and probably he'll be a conference player in at least 2 of them for sure, maybe 3. And you just don't have that many like that anymore. I mean, I was lucky. My son's class, there was a couple, and but in a school our size too, if they specialize, it can hurt some programs. Like, we need all the kids we can get.
Sure.
And especially football. Football's that sport where numbers is good. I don't care what you say. Even, there's – I know we've gotten this argument before on here, but 11 on defense, 11 on offense, you got to have 11 on a special team.
Argument. We never argue.
And so
right.
So numbers does help that. And if not everyone has to go both ways. If you're a team that not everyone has to go both ways, that is an advantage. I don't care what anyone says. If I'm playing in high school, all I played was offense. Okay. I was lucky enough that we were good enough. I didn't have to play defense. So I was well rested by the time, a lot of times on offense because of that.
What's your thoughts on that, Jason, as a kid? Like, do you want to be the Iron Man where you're getting to play offense?
Oh, I didn't want to ever come off the field. I just my senior year was kind of unique because I got type 1 diabetes during football, during 2-a-days. And I was diagnosed and had to sit out a whole week and was in the hospital for 5 days. And then I had to sit out a week after that. I got to go to practice, but I couldn't participate. I could count the practices, but I couldn't do anything. And so it was a little weird. I just didn't play any defense. I think it helped me only playing one way, though. I was like I said, well rested. I think teams, if you have enough kids and you can do now, you're going to have studs. I mean, we had Kevin Lucas. He was an absolute stud. And I saw Coach Holman the other day, bumped into him. We talked for a long time. And, we were talking about Kevin, and I still say Kevin Lucas was the best athlete I've ever played with. And he was our kicker, our punter, our kick returner, our safety. He kicked extra points, and he was our starting running back on offense. And he was on every special team.
So he could play a little bit.
He never came off the field. But you don't have 8 or 9 of those guys anymore. Some of these kids are good at one side or the other. Some kids don't have the mentality for defense. Let's be honest. Defense, you got to have a skill and you got to have a sense for the ball. So some kids just have a sense for the football, no matter if they're offense or defense. It's just the ball finds them somehow. And if you can platoon, especially at a school my size, if you can platoon, only have like 4 kids going both ways, that's a huge advantage. I mean, I think we are hovering almost at 50 kids right now, and that's a good number for us. And I mean, I'm reading the paper today. I'm going, man, it's a really good number compared to some people around.
Now, Chris, let me ask you this, just because we've always talked about
you got a lot of kids coming out.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Missouri? Chris,
you got a lot of kids coming out. That's good numbers.
Yeah,
I'm behind. Sorry,
that's all right. So, Chris, let me ask you this: with the state of Missouri and the way that our school system is set up, do you think that that's part of the issue? Is that we have so many schools that have 500 students or less compared to other states where it's 2,000, it's 2,500, it's 3,000. It's these, I don't want to say metropolitan areas, but I mean it's this cluster of townships where that's helping them when we're talking about being able to go offense, go defense, go special teams.
All right, so that's funny you say that, Zach, because okay, it's no secret that Missouri has the like 49th or 50th in the nation in teacher pay. But we also have the smallest school districts. We haven't had mass consolidation since the 60s. And that's why, because we have all these very small schools in comparison to other schools, like population per capita, square mileage, whatever you want to say, of kids in areas. We don't have the luxury of having a big cluster of kids to choose from in a lot of these places. That's going to make a lot of things like less participation, obviously, because now you're relying on those numbers of somebody to show up and take a damn jersey. You don't have enough people in the district to, as far you talk about teacher pay. I mean, think about all the ADA money that you'd have if you took 3 school districts that are small and slapped them all together and said, okay, here you go. Now we can pay you. But that's what I'm saying. You can't compete with other states that have more kids in the schools, cover more areas because they're consolidated. It is a problem. I hate to say it. I come from a small town. This is obviously the biggest school I've ever worked at, but I look at it and say, everybody in the state would be able to do much more if we did that. So I hate it on one sense, but I think it's something that hinders our state in many aspects, not just teacher pay, but I think in sports participation and competitive balance. To be honest with you, we are talking high school sports, I think there's a competitive balance issue because we don't have that. Okay, everybody's had those teams where your varsity is a set of your best kids, and after about your top 6, there is no chance that you can say that any of those 6 kids are going to go, yeah, I'm not losing my spot to that guy, so I don't have to work as hard in practice because I'm automatically better than them. So your practice isn't as good because you don't have somebody who can actually push that other kid because you don't have the numbers. We've all had those. We've all had that. So if we had more kids to choose from, I mean, it might not be quality. It might just be quantity. It still gives you a better chance of having the kids to practice against.
No, we struggle sometimes.
I'm behind again.
Well, we struggle sometimes to.
Hopefully, it's going to work.
To get. What the heck? So
go ahead, Jason.
Who the heck was mumbling there in the background?
That's Chris. He's delayed.
Oh, so sometimes we have trouble getting.
I don't know what's happening right now. It's kind of weird.
So if we have our first team out there,
that was me.
Oh, okay, we got you. We got your first team out there. It's hard sometimes to get a second team that can give them a look. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because of your numbers.
Yep.
You may have good numbers, but you may have your good numbers are a freshman and sophomore, and they're trying to give you a look. So sometimes you have to go half line. You have to do all these other things to give each other a look.
Kevin, what's going on, man?
Oh, not much. Just running around like a chicken with my head cut off, dealing with volleyball practices and open houses and all kinds of stuff. So,
hey, don't worry, your internet will be better than Chris's.
Mixed in there with. Can it get in? That's setting the bar really low, isn't it?
Me and Spectrum are gonna have a come apart. I'm telling you right now, I'm really sick of this crap.
I got away from Spectrum at the house, and it's been much better. So, but no, we practiced today. Was been good week so far with minus the rain, and then it got like excruciatingly hot today all of a sudden. So, and the kids just aren't used to it. It's hot, but compared to what it's been the last week and a half or so,
our kids struggled today with the heat. And I was like, dude, it's 85 degrees, man. Calm down. This ain't hot. 85 degrees, man. We've been spoiled. This is the wettest summer we've had in years.
And your kids also, they're also not used to being on turf with that heat as well.
True. And today it was a little warm off the turf, but I'll tell you this, it was a hell of a lot better than being in that hole in front of the school, baby. That turf looks beautiful. Kudos to Dr. Freeman and our school board and to everyone else that contributed to that. It is top notch. It's best looking field in the county. Period.
So, I mean, Jarvis, if you want to veto it, that's fine. But I mean, we've been talking fall sports. Do you want to talk locally with the football teams? I mean, the leader did. They had their preview coming out, and
the leader just did the small schools, and so I mean, they included Pius in that. I'm interested to see, and dude, I have no ill will towards Pius, none of that. So I want to get that out there before I say what I'm going to say. I'm interested to see how Pius does with this new schedule. I know
I think
Frank
a lot
Ray,
of people have that.
I know Frank Ray's touting it as, hey, it's an opportunity, and it is. They're going to get to play. They're going to go to some places that a lot of schools don't get to do. But I'm really anxious to see how they compete against those schools because they've added some schools that are going to be tough competition. So I'm interested to see what that'll be like. Our conference is going to be a little different. I guess we added Cuba. So, dude, my JV schedule is long trip after long trip after long trip.
Oh,
I go to Cuba
Mondays.
on a Friday night and then turn around on Monday and go to Cuba again. That ain't going to be no fun. Go to Perryville twice. Jarvis,
now,
Fredericktown.
Dude, they flipped okay, now, Jarvis, you tell me when you played, but when I played, they flipped it. Friday was at Team A, and Monday was
I'm not sure what's happened with all that. It's sometimes like we may have had to play it, so I don't know.
Okay,
I just know that I know we're going to be some road warriors on the JV this year. I know that.
Well, hey, that's that Quad City Conference, man. Where are y'all going to have your where are y'all going to have your
Quad
coaches,
County.
your
Quad
postseason award?
Quad County.
Sorry. Quad Cities, Iowa. Sorry. Quad County. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I don't know much about other than that's our conference now or whatever. I don't know. I guess maybe we'll meet halfway. Cuba's going to have to drive, I think. I mean, that's what's gonna happen. I mean, they're going to be outvoted. What do you do?
Oh, my goodness.
But we have the joy of going to Cuba this year, and, it is what it is. And I don't know. I think it'll be fun little small school conference in football. I mean, you got R7. I know they lost a lot of seniors that were pretty solid. Losing their their quarterback was a senior last year, and several good receivers and running backs.
Yeah.
So
I
think
the conference play of the year, Breeze, when he, I mean,
yeah, Breeze is pretty salty, man.
Man, he was good.
And,
he was
they're going to be. There are 7. They usually put a good product out there. Their coach does a great job. I mean, taking over for Rugley, they've still been solid. And Grandview has some good players on that team. They keep them healthy this year. They got the quarterbacks coming back. The running back that got hurt in like week 2 is going to be back. You go down each conference opponent. St. Vincent's always putting a good product on the field. So, the small schools will be a competitive thing for us. And, we'll see what happens.
Not having any affiliation with anything. I'm going to go
you are
out
a
on
Blue
a
Jay,
limb.
but go ahead.
Not football, like football-wise. Nothing to do with football. I'm going to say this. I think finally, and I don't know if this is year 2 or year 3, but at least seeing them the last couple of years, I think Perryville has a chance in the conference to do something that they haven't done before, which is put together a string of wins. I think you've got some guys that have been playing as freshmen, sophomore. Now they're junior, seniors. They're finally 17, 18, 19-year-old. And I just something about maybe, them having a good year. I don't necessarily want to say winning conference, but I think at least in terms of conference play, maybe they have an opportunity to do something that they haven't done. So
I do know that I agree, Zach. They got some kids coming back. They whooped our hind ends last year. I mean, they just whooped us. And I think they have some talent, and I think they'll be a formative opponent to have to play. It's hard for me to talk real about football when you got to play all these teams.
I know.
But a lot of coaches speak, as we always say, we don't like to do on here. But we don't. It is high school kids, and at any time you can lose. And so I'm happy with what we've been doing so far. And I think if we get some of our young linemen straightened out and they know the plays pretty well, and as the season goes on, I think we'll do all right at Herky. And I mean, how couldn't you be excited if you're a Herky kid looking at that field?
Right.
I mean, it's awesome, and the rich history at Herky. You know, I'm wishing Coach Sims and Crystal the best. I hope Coach Sims has a good year, and I hope they get to complete an entire schedule for their sake. And you know, we'll see what happens. We talk about the big schools now, and I mean, I've been hearing a lot of rumblings, man. There's a lot of people talking them Tigers over there at Festus, man. And you know, for me, it's going to be hard to say that Tigers are the favorite when Hillsboro just keeps. That's been 7 years in a row they've beat Festus, 7 or 8. So I think those are the two teams to beat in that conference. It's going to be Festus and Hillsboro in that big school conference.
I'll throw in a North County just because, like a Perryville, they were playing a lot of young dudes. They only had like maybe 3 or 4 seniors that had any significant playing time last year. Now, are they up to snuff with what Hillsboro has been able to accomplish the last several years? Are they up to snuff with all of the athletes that Festus has? I mean, again, I've said it for years now. This is the senior group at Festus is that 8th grade group when Ethan was a 7th grader. Is one year he played football. Watching them, it was even though it was junior high, those guys were worth the price of admission. So now those guys are seniors. You're right, Festus. I mean, they're going to do something.
Let's rewind to last year. Festus had Hillsboro down big in that game, and then blew that game. They completely blew that game. Let's be honest. They blew that game in the second half. Hillsboro comes back and wins by 1, I believe, right? And so Festus got to get that off their chest. They got to get that win against Hillsboro before, you know, and until they do it, I'm picking Hillsboro to win that large school conference. I just am. I mean, you know, Bill over there's got a good thing going and got some athletes. Or the Brown kid, the one, I guess is he the youngest one? The quarterback coming back. He's like a running back / quarterback in the backfield.
They've got another one. Yeah.
There's one more in there. Yeah. So, I mean, Hillsboro just keeps reloading, and until Festus can prove they can beat that, my vote would be the Hawks right here at the start, you know. I'm hoping another year with Russ Smith down there at DeSoto. Maybe they'll be a little better. I know he's got a good coaching staff over there. Sobel's over there, and they're really trying to turn that around. Sobel runs that weight room for him, so we're going to have to play them. That's going to be a tough match for us. I think that's our week 9 opponent maybe or something like that. So DeSoto, you know, that they're going to try to compete the best they can, and I think Schmidt will get them rolling at some point. You brought up North County. They're always tough. I mean, they just got kids that play tough. I mean, they're known for their football down there. And that's about all I can say. I don't know.
Kevin, tell us.
That's all.
Yeah, I was going to say, Chris, do you want to take a break?
That's all I can say about that.
Chris, do you want to take a break? Let Kevin talk a little bit about local softball.
Oh, so are you taking over for Jim Powers? You're the one that's on the time crunch today. Hey, break time. Oh, wait.
No, not at all.
Ron Rhodes says. As Ron Rhodes says, no show, Dr. Powers.
Well, Kevin, tell us all about softball then.
Yeah, give Kevin a chance. Come on.
Yeah, softball, Kevin. What's up?
Well, I don't really get to know a whole lot about the conference this year. I don't need to. There's none of them on my schedule anymore. But
I saw your schedule posted. I liked your schedule. Right? I saw it posted today, so I liked it for you. Just because of you, that's the only reason. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure how to take that, Jason, necessarily, but yes, thank you. Softball.
I don't wish no ill will to the Pius kids either. So
yeah. Softball in this county is always kind of like a hidden gem a little bit. There's always some really good players and really good teams. Festus is going to be really good this year. They were young last year, and some of their better players were freshmen last year. In the Overly kid and the Isabel kid, they're both their pitcher and catcher for them. Those two are going to be studs in the next few years. In this, Hillsboro's always going to be pretty good, but she had, I think, 10 seniors last year, so it kind of remains to be seen how they develop and play. They go 9-10 deep in their lineup anyway, so Tish will have that team rolling by the end of the year as well. But
is that Tish Nager?
Tish Nager, yeah,
that's what I thought. She's fiery, man. I like her.
Pious alum as well, and
okay, I won't hold that.
we actually had lockers next to each other in high school. She was a year older than me, so
she was cooler
Tish,
than you, right?
Absolutely. So,
I worked at Old McDonald's with all the Nagers, so that's how I know her husband.
Yeah.
So good people.
Absolutely. So those are probably the two of the better teams. Windsor should be pretty good, but I think they graduated two of their better players, but he always seems to find a way to find a couple of players and be really good. But I have a feeling we're going to be pretty good this year. I've got 6 seniors that have played a ton since their freshman year. And so as long as we can fill in around
there's some coach speak right there. I like it.
Yeah. My question mark for us is going to be pitching depth. I have a pretty good pitcher that we can rely on a lot. I don't have a lot of experienced depth outside of that. So I've got a couple of athletes that can pitch, but we'll see how that goes.
I'm sure you'll have them whipped in the shade. You guys will be right in the thick of things.
Well,
win your 6th district title.
There may be a couple of games we win 15-14, but I'll take that. A win's a win. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know those Cardinals of yours are really needing some.
Man, I told you I'm not down for that.
We could do that next
segment. I'll explain why. I'll explain in the next segment why I won't back down from that. But it's going to be interesting. We'll see some of those teams come district time, but having not been able to play, it's really hard to judge ourselves and with some of those other teams with each other, just because we had a lot of talent graduate and you don't really know until they start playing games.
Yeah.
I will say with Herky and what little I know about our softball program, sorry, Coach Brackage, but I do know she has a couple nice little players. The Yamnitz girl,
yes.
she can play softball. She's pretty good.
Yeah, Kaylin might be one of the better players in our conference.
Yeah, she's
all-around players in our conference.
Great kid too, man.
Their conference.
Yeah, great.
Not yours.
Sorry, it's reflex after 17 years of doing this.
She's a great kid. She's a good kid. The Lennington girl, she's a pretty good player over there for us at Herky. And I know the Raftree girl from Crystal plays on our softball team. I know she's pretty good. I'm looking for some good things for our softball team at Herky this year. I think they'll surprise some people, and they'll be fun to watch.
Are they still
hopefully be able to
co-opting with Crystal?
Yes, we are still co-oping with Crystal and girls softball. Yep.
Jefferson should be much improved. I think Coach Mohan over there had a 8th grade class, I think, come up as freshmen that should have some pretty good ball players in it. I believe that was a class that she and I had been talking about for a while, but I think pitching depth is going to be something that she's going to have to manage as well. But she's a tremendous pitcher and coach in her own right. She'll figure out how to get those kids, find a kid or two that can pitch and do some things and make them competitive. So DeSoto's got a new coach for the Crodingers stepped away due to work things. But Tyler Beers, he's been at Potosi the last few years, took them to the spring. He's taken over for DeSoto softball this year. And they had some really good players returning as well. That they'll be pretty good in the circle. Actually, it's can they find enough bats up and down their entire lineup, and I think they'll be able to find that. So they'll be pretty competitive. So
it's exciting time of the year, Chris. Sports starting, school starting. I mean, first work day for me today. I mean, it's been awesome so far.
Yeah. Our freshmen start tomorrow, so.
Oof. Oh, really?
Oh, you got
on a
just
Friday.
freshmen start school?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
Frosh
so that's
Fest.
kind of, I guess, that's different. I guess to bring them in,
Yeah,
get them
freshman orientation tomorrow. Yeah.
It'll be all right. It's good. It's good stuff. I actually kind of like that. That'd be one of those things I do miss. Not working with you, Kevin. But I do miss Frosh Fest.
Oh man,
Totally.
that's rough, Kevin.
It's just nice to walk. It's just nice to walk through that office and not hear Disney Plus in the background. If I have to hear "Let It Go" coming out of that office one more time.
Oh man, Chris.
Love is an open door. Anything from Cinderella,
Tarzan.
I will say,
Tarzan,
Chris, that
yes,
it is
the Lion King.
It is interesting to see you in that red and. Are you guys red and black?
Yep.
Or is it black and red?
I don't know. It's
Okay.
red and black.
Red and black. Okay.
Sure.
I mean, we're black and red. I believe
It's
black.
I think it's more red than black.
Oh, it is black and
yes.
red because Crystal is red and black.
Yes, sir.
That was always the thing. I always had to have a distinction.
Wow. How about you guys have different freaking mascots? That's the distinction right there.
Right.
Do you need anything
man.
else? It's the same damn colors.
Well,
Jeez.
okay, man. You're awful. Golly, we got the Fox Warrior all warriored up, man. He's all fired.
I'm ready for
Yeah,
basketball
he's grumpy
season. I want
gills.
to fight somebody.
Oh yeah, you can't wait to get to that 4-month-long season.
What? It's the best season in high school sports.
It's the longest. That's for damn sure.
It's
No,
the
actually,
longest season in high school sports.
I can't wait till my insurance kicks in so my damn arm stops hurting, but whatever. That's making me grumpy.
You get you one of these. Be nice.
No, I don't want one of those.
It's a sling.
Well,
I got time for that. No.
Well,
But we do have time. We need to take a break.
Okay, Jim.
Whoa.
No, I was wanting Jim to take us to commercial. Oh, wait, he's not here.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll be right back with more of the coach's box here in a little bit. See you in a sec.
I'm a bee, and I bumbled my way into your car. Buzz. But this hive isn't big enough for the both of us. Boo! Oh, wow, what a buzzkill. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, paying for this could really sting. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Cut. All right, next set up.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings. And this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back for one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com.
New entertainment, you need full-length content, you need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm Half Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling, we've got so much content on there. Gaming, check it out. Live, not live, we've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Coach's Box. I'm trying to get these guys to tell me, and some reason, Power's name is signed in on our private chat to try to get everything organized during the commercial break. So I'm asking questions, and I'm wondering why everybody is giving me a hard time, and apparently that's why. But, yeah, I am Chris Miller. We don't have Jim Powers here. He is off on assignment tonight. And anyway, I'll just make the decision for the next topic of the show. I know we kind of hinted at the Cardinals. We're going to save that one for just a little bit later because I got to say, I didn't watch a lot of the men's Olympic basketball games, but I did get to watch the gold medal game. And Chef Curry was cooking. I mean, he was straight cooking. It was probably one of the best performances, and you take those last two games into account. The last two games, I mean, he was just unstoppable. Without him, they don't win. It's just the way it is. Guys, what was your thoughts?
So you're telling me he was MVP, right?
LeBron was MVP.
Wait a second. He had the best games for the U.S. team each game?
I mean, Durant did score a lot of points.
Right. I'm pretty sure
LeBron had a pretty steady, consistent, entire Olympics. Curry had probably the best last two games for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then
LeBron was MVP.
And then Jason Tatum led in minutes.
Yeah, minutes sat on the bench.
He led in team high five. Slap hands.
No,
actually, Tatum did lead in the stat category. Most shots that hit the side of the backboard.
Maybe Kerr was right.
I hold the school record.
Something we didn't.
Hey, I hold the school record in that same stat.
Did you see
sure it's not Xander?
Hey, did you guys see Halberton?
No, it's me.
Post?
Guaranteed.
Yes.
His Twitter post.
Yes.
When you get to work on the group
hilarious.
project, you don't do any work on the group project.
Still get an A.
Still get an A. That was awesome.
So
I mean, awesome.
My thoughts on the whole thing, and obviously a lot of people had a lot to say about Tatum. It was actually a conversation that me and some of the coaches at Fox were having the other day at lunch. Was why Tatum didn't play, and obviously he didn't look that great when he's out there. I'll tell you right now, I thought Devin Booker is terrible. You could have found anybody else to put in there. Tatum not getting to play, you're not in rhythm. Even Edwards didn't get to play a lot, and a lot of those guys, did sit the bench. My question is, obviously, you have this final send-off with LeBron, Durant, and Curry. That more than likely, at least two of those guys are not going to be back at the next Olympics, no matter what. Curry, I think, is about the only one who would be young enough. Durant might be, who knows? But LeBron's done. I mean, this is it. He's not doing it again. And well, I say that, but there's a really high probability he isn't going to participate 4 years later. So, did they bring those guys along? And they're obviously not getting to be a part of this final run in minutes per se, but to kind of get that Olympic experience, and then maybe the plan is it's their time 4 years from now when the next set of Olympics comes out. It's like, hey, it's almost like bringing a freshman up and saying, hey, you're not going to get to play. We might throw you out there. We might not. But I want you to get the experience. You have the opportunity to have a gold medal. You understand the importance of it, and you have to carry this tradition. Your thoughts?
So what experience did they get?
They were a part of it. I don't know. You're going to say the same thing to a freshman when you bring him up and set him in districts and he gets in the picture.
Well, that's just that. Okay, I don't say that's experience. I say, hey, that's a attaboy because you worked hard all year at the freshman JV level. I'm throwing you a bone saying, hey, you're a great teammate. Come sit on the end of the bench. Like that's all that is. I mean, it's not, of anything of significance in terms of, hey, we won a district title, we're moving on. If I'm all of those other guys, if I'm Tatum that sat, okay, and I'm you guys answer this. Why do I come back and play in 4 years? All those guys that sat, why do I come back?
I would say it depends on who's the coach is.
Okay.
Who's the coach going to be? If it's Steve Kerr,
I personally think that and I hope this is the case, and I'm not even a Celtics fan. I'm a Lakers fan, so I almost wore my Lakers hat with this purple shirt today, but I changed my hat instead. But what I was going to say was they may have lit a fire in Jason Tatum, man. I would have been – I'm sorry. You can't tell me that you couldn't find any. I know, it's hard to play that many, blah, 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 blah. Dude, no. Steve Kerr, I don't know what he has against him, but whoa. There has to be more to this.
That's even the young guys, like, again, Anthony Edwards, like, legitimately, and again, you have
that much either, really.
That's what I'm saying. Again, you have the older studs of those three, but then you have Edwards. You have all of the younger guys that are coming into their own in the NBA that will be the face, if not they are already the face of the NBA. Like, what are you doing? Like, they've got to play. I get it that Christian Laettner's not playing on the Dream Team because he's the college kid, but like, you've got to play everybody.
I'm sorry. If I'm Jason Tatum, I don't know that I could have kept my mouth shut like he did.
Kevin, what's your thoughts?
I don't know that you can I don't know that he can go and say anything, like, not going to, because it's not a good look for him. It's like, hey, I'm part of the Olympic team that's going to win gold, and I'm going to bitch about playing time. I don't know that that's a good look for him to do that. So whether he's happy about it or not, he made the right decision in keeping his mouth kind of to himself about this one. But I think he's right. Why would you want to go back unless there's a difference in coaches and it's a coach that's more geared to him playing than Steve Kerr, who was or the setup was LeBron, Durant, Curry, this type of thing. It was his played in the previous Olympics too. Tatum played in the last.
Yeah,
Jason's
it was his
brother,
second Olympic, but so what?
He played in the last go around.
So what?
Yeah,
I mean, I think some
I don't know what to think about this because I don't know why he didn't get to play more.
I think some of them are still going to play in the next Olympics because I think some of those guys aren't going to be playing it. You're talking about LeBron, you're talking about Steph, you're talking about some older guys that might not be playing in it then.
Yeah, I don't know that they're all going to play. I think it's going to be the Tatum, Embiid, and Ant Edwards type of look at that point. But that's if they want to go back and do it again. I mean, they got their gold medal. Wouldn't they rather? If somebody at some point said, "Man, I'd rather have my off season."
Mm-hmm.
So, because how long is it now from the end of the Olympics to the start of training camp?
I'm not sure. Who knows?
October,
maybe just a couple of weeks instead of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, the women go right back into playing. Like, it's middle of their season. They put pause
they
in.
take.
Okay,
they take
well,
I'm
glad you brought up the women. Glad you brought up the women because.
Where are the women at? Show me the women. Where are they at?
I mean, Taurasi plays hardly at all. Zilch 0. I'm sorry.
Didn't play in the game in the title game. Gold medal game.
I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone thinks. This is my opinion. Women's basketball screwed that whole deal up. At the height of how popular basketball has become, you have to have Reese and Caitlin Clark on that team. I don't care what anyone says. It's stupid. Mm-hmm. I never agree with Stephen A. on anything, but on this, he is correct. There is no way Caitlin Clark shouldn't have been on that team. There's no way that Reese shouldn't have been on that team. You got Brittany Griner on that gosh dang team who won't even stand up for the anthem, who we traded somebody for. I would have let her rot. And no, you should have had those two women should have been on that team, period. It's dumb.
You got a competitive advantage with Brittany Griner playing, though, don't you? I mean,
did Griner play that much in that?
Well, I hope she didn't. She didn't deserve to play for the United States. She don't deserve to play for them.
If she played in that gold medal game, I don't remember her playing that much. I didn't see her play that much in the game I watched. I know you would notice, but I was like, I don't remember watching. I don't remember seeing her at that all.
So many things I want to say, but I can't. They're not PC.
Probably shouldn't.
But you're going to let her on the team? Come on. No, they missed it. The women's basketball totally missed an opportunity. That coverage and the people watching would have been so much. It would have blown up girls' basketball or women's basketball. Stupid. That is the dumbest, stupidest decision. Those people should all be ran out of it. They should have nothing to do with it anymore. It's stupid.
And in the game,
hot take, not hot garbage. Hot take.
And she's the one complaining. Well, yeah, and she's the one complaining. Taurasi is the one griping and moaning at the fact that about Caitlin Clark, and then she doesn't even play. And I get it. Hey, it's congratulations, you played. You know how this is your 5th Olympics or whatever it was.
Old, great, whatever.
Right? I mean, you're 42 or whatever it is. I get that, but you didn't even play, and you had. I don't know. It just
and how many Olympics has she played in?
A bunch.
At least I think it was 5.
Rossi's been in 5.
Okay.
I think she's got five gold medals now.
So stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I just
there's something to be said for an athlete's legacy to be able to say at some point, hey, my turn's over, somebody else's turn. I'm passing the torch to them.
Well, they won't even pass the torch in the WNBA. They're so stupid. They're so stupid.
Yeah, and your brother has a point I was trying to make, but I'm on delay anyway. They won by 1 point in the gold medal game. I mean, we are so
to who?
France
to who?
Is well. Wait, France is catching the United States in basketball, fellas. I don't know what to tell you, men's and women's both, because the last two number 1 picks in the NBA, French. Top 2 picks this year, French. Who we play in the gold medals, France. Who in both men's and women's. Hey, they're here. Okay, everybody is right there. Just telling you.
Yeah. Well, good thing it's basketball, because if they were to go to war, they'd lose.
Okay, so I want to say this, and I want to get your guys' opinions on this. When you're talking about the Olympics, I'm watching track and field, and the guy who won from Sweden won the pole vault.
Sweden.
Now, where do you think he lives?
United States.
He lives in Louisiana, doesn't he?
He lives in Louisiana.
Like
He's born and bred in Louisiana, went to LSU, and he's competed twice now for Sweden in the Olympics. And you know why?
Isn't his mom from Sweden, I believe? Or
dual citizenship.
Well, what the story on TV was, he asked, or his dad asked Sweden, hey, can I be his coach? And they said, sure, you could be his coach. Great. We're going to go to Sweden, or we're going to represent Sweden. Okay. Explain this to me, how you have all of these players, athletes that are representing other countries, and they're from either the United States or vice versa.
I'm going to say that's not.
I don't know how to take all of that. I don't know how to take that.
That goes both ways, because the U.S. Joel Embiid, it's not technically, I believe, wasn't he from Nigeria? Maybe, I believe
something.
He
got lambasted.
Dual citizenship.
He got lambasted too.
Yeah, dual citizenship.
Zach, I got the answer right here. You're talking about he's from Louisiana, right?
Born and raised. I bet he's never been to Sweden.
Okay, but listen,
He said
Sweden. Just like in The Water Boy, when you know when he
we're gonna compare this to The Water Boy.
he say, listen, it doesn't matter what country you're from. How much where you make it? That's all there is to it. Right there.
How about you do it? How about you do it?
What you like to see? What? What do you like to see naked? How much where you make it? Okay.
I just that just rubbed me. I don't know. I just rubbed me the wrong way. Like
it was
Joe
Joe Dirt.
I
It
mean,
wasn't a Water Boy. Joe Dirt. Got him confused. Same guy. Anyway.
I don't know. I just I don't. Kevin, say something.
It's a world without borders, Zach. Just
that's just our southern border, Kevin. That's
southern border.
There's
because
like
everybody else in Europe are
borders.
Yeah. Gotta let them in. Come on in. Then go compete for another country. Come on in. You can stay here. We'll pay for you, and then go compete in the Olympics against us.
Yeah. Well, at least if he did it, he picked a country that is established in some sports, not something like Andorra or the Vatican City or something like that to compete in the Olympics for.
The Vatican City doesn't have an Olympic team.
I was going to say, do they ever actually have an Olympic team?
Is there any reason why they couldn't? They're a country technically, aren't they?
That's what I'm saying. Do they?
You could see some cardinal pole vaulting in the Olympics. You don't know that.
I have so many jokes that are terrible right now.
I was going to too. I would say, nope, not going to say anything.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't.
I mean, we almost saw. Speaking of Cardinals pole vaulting, it'd be a lot like our Marcelo Ozuna going back to the fence on a ball.
I'll tell you right now, I'll take Marcelo Ozuna in our lineup. Gosh darn.
Okay,
segue.
So when we come back, we are going to jump into some Cardinals talk, and I'm sure it's going to be so much fun because
so positive.
Awesome.
Hey, Jim's not here. It's not going to be Mr. Negativity about it.
Wait, just wait. You just wait.
Super anti-Cardinal.
Yeah. When we come back, Cardinals talk. We'll see you in a second.
Doof. Maybe.
I'm a bee, and I bumbled my way into your car. Buzz. But this hive isn't big enough for the both of us. Boo! Oh, wow, what a buzzkill. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, paying for this could really sting. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Cut. All right, next set up.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings. And this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back for one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com.
Entertainment, you need full-length content, you need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm Half Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling, we've got so much content on there. Gaming. Check it out, live, not live. We've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Coach's Box. This is our third and final segment. If you like our show, you've been watching it for a while, maybe this is the first time you've tuned in, you can check out our shows, all of our old shows on YouTube. You can follow us on our YouTube channel, and you can subscribe, and you can do all of that for absolutely $0. As our graphics during the commercial showed you, Jason was kind enough to do that. He posed for all of those. And appreciate you guys tuning in. You can also follow us on. Yeah, he didn't know. I know I did without you knowing, AI. And you can follow us on Facebook, and you can watch us on the X. You can also watch us on. Hang on, I'm trying to think of what it is. Is it Discord? No. It's Twitch. That's right, Twitch. I get them confused sometimes. Anyway, you can follow us on Twitch and watch us there if you want. I don't know why you would, but anyway, a lot of people do, I guess. So. We segued into it. Go ahead, Jay.
My buddy Tyler Whaley, he watches this. Coach Whaley watches this all the time on Twitch. He's a big gamer.
Ah, that's right. Well, you know, a lot of people game. It's cool stuff. College football 25. Mizzou's won 4 out of the 5 national championships I've played. So we'll get to them in a second. But the Cardinals, they had a great series against the Reds.
Sure they did.
Real great.
My gosh. Hey, just the most important series of the year.
Did they win? They win the series?
Yeah, they look great.
Oh, did they win one game in the series?
There was a sweep.
So they didn't win any games in the series.
No. They did, however, score at least one run in every ball game they played. That's about all they did.
Up. I mean, they give up.
Oh, a lot.
Oh.
About almost 20. Almost 20 in 3 games.
Well, listen, guys. It's 20 runs in 3 games. It's a recipe for success when you're trying to get to 91 wins.
Yeah.
Lot of ding dong Johnsons.
Yeah.
Not hit by us.
No. Well, the formula of getting over the hill pitch, and that was just a blueprint for success, wasn't it?
How do you like the formula of bringing up your prized possession and then sitting them?
Golly, what a joke! What a joke! Chris,
why would you bring him up if that's what you're going to do? If you're going to bring him up, why are you going to sit him there?
Kevin, you're really quiet. Can you jump in and discuss your thoughts about the Cardinals right now? You are the positive person of the group right now. I need to hear it. I need positivity in my life.
Are they still mathematically capable of winning 91 games?
Oh my gosh, no. No, that you can't play that. You sound like John Mozeliak. Well, you're saying there's a chance we can get in. If we just backdoor into the thing, we have a chance to make the playoffs. And then we get to play 2 games. We get our money for making the playoffs, and that's it.
Listen, I cannot back away from the statement. And it's because, like I said in the group chat, no, I can't, and I won't for this reason.
No,
if they don't win 91 games, they don't win 91 games, then I'm just wrong, which happens a lot. No big deal. All right. If they do win 91 games, that is an epic statement that I have stood by the entire time, and I continue to stand by it.
I really thought you were going to have something enlightening to say, and maybe even refreshing to say.
The way they've handled Walker is horrible,
terrible,
right? Terrible. Charles Barkley versions of terrible.
I just don't even understand it.
Just a bunch of knuckleheads.
How does Ollie? How does he in good conscience even agree to do this? Just to be like, oh well, do this and you'll have a job next year. Like, how do you sit here and justify we're not going to play Jordan Walker? We're going to bring him up, but we're not going to play him.
The real issue, we all know what the real issue is here, is there needs to be a refresh in the front office, but that also means that there needs to be a refresh in the dugout as well.
My brother just said it. Ollie and Mo need to go.
Yes.
And David, how do you?
If you look at Schilt, the job that Schilt has done in San Diego, after San Diego got rid of all of those players that they spent all that money on. And he's now in Schilt. I think the Padres have the third best record in the National League. We had the manager for this team. He's sitting in San Diego's dugout.
Well,
with
we're stupid. I listened to 101 a little bit today, and they're right. I mean, it's just, how do you go from this is what I'm saying, with Matheny, 500 baseball is not good enough for this town. 500 baseball is not good enough for this town. That's what Mo spoke out of his big fat mouth. And now it's okay because this is your guy. This is the guy you wanted. Only thing he's good at is getting kicked out of games. He's terrible.
Hey, I'll take him at 500. He has been 500 yet.
No, he's terrible. Mo needs to go. I can't even listen to him talk. When he talks, I just want to punch the TV like Weston already did upstairs. He ruined my TV. Anyway, yes. So, like Dave said, we're playing Victor Scott over Walker. What in the world is going on?
Both Victor Scott and Walker should be playing.
I agree.
Next to each other.
Okay. All right. So my thing on the Cardinals right now is, first off, their record since the All-Star break, they're 10-13. So they're going the wrong direction. That's one. Two, you waited to bring Walker up. The first time he comes, imagine you get into the show and you're hitting 270. You had a 14-game hitting streak as a rookie. And because you're not putting the damn ball in the air, you get sent down. And you have the second best batting average on the team at the time. So you need to go down and fix that. You got there doing your own thing. You went down, you did your own thing. You come back, you did your own thing. You have a 20 home run, 70 RBI, whatever you end up having. He had a pretty good year for all things considered. He struggles out of the gate and they send him down. Talk about a mind job. Okay. So you think about how take Walker, take Gorman, take Wilson Contreras last year, and you just what are you doing? What in the world are you doing? Listen, Tommy Pham, I told you, I thought Tommy Pham at the trade deadline, good pickup, because you needed somebody who's right-handed bat, who can hit some lefties. And I think he's okay, and I like his competitiveness. But, man, nobody else is picking up the slack. Arenado, he's just not himself. He's not. It's not going to turn on magically. Light switch. Here, let me flip that. Goldschmidt, not hitting the ball, not doing what he's supposed to. Well, it's like we look at these little marginal, they got marginally better. They're doing a little bit better. And, let's everybody
Chris,
get back on their positivity. No,
we're going to re-sign Goldsmith. What are you talking about?
I know we should have traded him. We should trade. Hell, we should trade him now. When you could have, this year. We should have done it last year, and I said don't do it. Now I wish I'm eating it.
Yeah, remember you chastised me. Do you remember that?
I'm totally wrong.
Who
I
said let
I
him
wish I'd
go?
go back and punch myself.
We both did. I agree.
So now, okay, think about this though. If you've got a bunch of seniors on your team and you're losing, do you keep playing the seniors if you got some promising young guys? No. As a coach, you start playing the young guys. Why aren't we playing the young? Gorman, just go out there and swing away, buddy. 40% strikeout rate. Let it rip. I believe in you. I bet you that flips around because it's that shit. It's that stuff right there.
It works for Kyle Schwarber.
We're gonna look at that. I have no idea. You say Walker can't put the ball in the air. Gorman can put the ball in the air, but he might strike out. So freaking what? At least he's a guy who can hit a home run. We don't have anybody who can hit a home run.
Gorman has hit at every level, but it's because he's gotten consistent every day at bats through the ups, through the downs, and it's the same way with all those guys. Chris is right. They should let Victor Scott play in center field, put Walker in right field.
Now. How are you not? Goldschmidt needs to sit. He needs to sit. Well, Burleson needs to play first base. Period.
This entire thing is everybody talks about Ollie has to go in this everything. I'm going to be honest with you. When I get down to it, I don't know what Ollie's like with a decent roster that's built top to bottom like a division-winning World Series team roster should be. Now, the real issue here is Mo and then organizational philosophies moving forward. That's where the top, if you have to change, because if you change managers, you're still stuck with Mo and all those stupid organizational policies that don't seem to be working.
But if you have these guys I think you can still, I think you can manage the group that they have right now better than what they are. They rely so much on these stupid splits. I am so freaking tired of hearing splits. The only time I need to really worry about splits in a baseball player is when they start going to the bullpen and I need to decide if I need to pinch hit somebody. If I'm good enough to be in a major league in the major leagues and play the majority of the time, I don't need to freaking be a guy who comes in only when, because they're gonna pitch a guy 4 or 5 innings, and then what? They'll bring in another guy who might not be the same-handed pitcher. So who gives a damn? Go ahead and let it ride and see what you have to do. And if the game is close, that's when you start playing the splits. When you start looking at when they bring in their guys, who hits better? What have they done against those guys? Then that's when you start doing it. I'm not even saying that's the thing that you hang your hat on. Just like they brought Brandon Crawford in with the bases loaded and said, oh, he's had success against him instead of Gorman. I'm going to bring in the guy who can hit the ball hard and far.
Home run.
Why do you do that? It's like, well, he hits better. Same thing with Walker. Who freaking cares? The guy needs at bats. He sit him up here on the bench and let him do nothing. Gorman, if you're not playing him consistently, send him back and leave him there. Might as well. Why? Because you're just messing with these guys. They're going to go somewhere else and they're going to do really well. And they're going to be like, yeah, St. Louis, they're a bunch of ass clowns. And we become it's what we are. Look at it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Greg Amsinger, listen to him today. He was just like, I don't know why nobody knows why they're doing this. The national media doesn't understand it. I sure as hell don't understand it.
Well, the fans don't either, and nobody does.
Well, that shows. The fans are showing they don't.
The worst thing that can happen right now with the Cardinals in their fan base is apathy. I've said this before. Why am I a Cardinals fan? Because my family was, my dad was, my grandpa was. Okay, I'm not taking my daughter to Cardinals games. So how many other people are like that? Zach, I know you won't, because unless they're free, you're not going. Jarvis, same way. It's like I'm not going. So I'm not making my kids don't have the same affection for the Cardinals that I had.
And
we're not doing anything to make the product better. I'm not going to go spend all this money. And then you go out there and you guys play like dog shit. I want to go and watch fun baseball to watch. I will go watch all those young guys play. And I would pay money to watch if they took Arenado and they took Goldschmidt and they didn't manage like a bunch of jackholes. I want to go and see those guys play, and I'd be okay with it.
That was what I was just going to say.
And to add to your point, think about what we just talked about in the first segment with kids and sports and playing and numbers being down. Then you throw that into the mix, and Chris, your whole point is you lose your culture. You lose your culture on who you were as a Cardinal organization. You hung your hat on being a hardworking blue-collar town, and everybody.
I agree with that.
Baseball happened, right?
I agree with everything you're saying, but I think we're missing something, and I think it's we don't have a superstar, guys.
Nope.
No, we don't.
And think about it. Think about it when Cardinal fans are at their greatest is when there's something great to watch. When there's Hall of Famers on the field, when there's Mark McGwire hitting bombs, we sucked. But everyone went because you wanted to see what Mark McGwire was going to do. We don't have a Mark McGwire. We don't have an Ozzie Smith. We don't even have a Ray Langford. I mean, let's be real. We don't have anyone that I just go, man, I got to go watch. Hell no, we don't have anyone.
I would say, because you look at the everyday lineup, how many Red Jackets will be on the field there? And I would say maybe one Mason Wynn has a chance of doing it, but it's still very early in his career to determine that.
Right. I mean, Mason watching what he did in the past, but I mean,
but now he's not I don't call him an everyday lineup guy.
Oh, you said everyday lineup. My bad.
Yeah, everyday lineup guy.
Wins a guy that could be made.
Goldie will be one based on the fact that he won MVP, and he's in that. Arenado will be one based on the fact that his number and all of that. But in terms of in name, yes, not in what they achieved. Yes.
No, I don't think
their legacy, their Red Jacket legacy, may be tarnished by these 2 years in their career.
Sure,
right there.
That's it. And that's why I would say no.
Where's their World Series?
They barely made the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. Where's their? No. You talking guys that get Red Jackets or guys that?
No, Carpenter may get one, but because of the World Series back in around the 11
World
and 13.
Series. The whole key is World Series here. Let's be honest.
No, you're not right. This team is missing that. This team is devoid of the connection to the city of St. Louis and the fan base. There was a Saturday night game a couple of weeks ago. They said that the announced attendance was like 30,000 people for a Saturday night game. And I think it was Brad Thompson was like, maybe there was 15 actually there.
They talked about that on ESPN about how bad that looked.
So you said about attendance, and everybody is seeing what's, like, again, we've all discussed ad nauseum about why, guys people don't want to go and watch them play. If
they're going to be below 3 million.
Oh, I would say that. That's 100%.
No, they're saying it's going to be below 3 million for the first time in who knows whatever.
So they're DeWitt comes out and says he doesn't want to. If you're not going to come watch, I mean, obviously the money spent on tickets is going to go into the payroll, and they can say that. That's fine and dandy. But if you're not going to put out a product that has an opportunity to go out and win, like we're going to sell out, and we're going to win. We're either going to go out and get a bunch of prospects, develop them, and then play younger guys like other teams are doing, or we're going to go and free agents, like going to shell out some bucks and make it happen. The money that you're trying to get to make the playoffs, for making the wild card, does not equate to the amount of money you're losing in ticket sales. I mean, let's face it, the money is not the same. So you can say, well, we made the playoffs. And what?
Who cares?
How much money did you lose from people not coming to the game and buying beer?
Even aside from that, products like Tampa Bay for years still put really good products with no fans and no money because they did a much better job of developing from within their system.
Well,
in that sense, you have to marry the two of those systems together.
If I was in charge right now, Burleson would be playing first. Donovan would be second. Win, short. All right. And then, depending on what you want to do with Arenado, I bring up that whatever that young guy that starts with an A, I can't say his name, or I play Arenado, whatever. Okay, third, I'm not that concerned about. Gorman's my DH. And then I'm playing the young guys in the outfield. I'm having Walker in right. I'm having Victor in center. And then I'm throwing out, I don't know, Pham out in left.
Pham, Newtbar, depending on what you got.
Yeah. I mean, I'm done with the whole Newtbar thing, too. Newtbar, I like him. But god dang, he can't stay healthy. He can't he just can't stay healthy. And then he hasn't produced.
Who's that sounding an awful lot like? Jason? Who's that sounding an awful lot like? Your buddy, Bro Neal.
Bro Neal's producing now.
Right? Short porch and left.
Uh-oh, what happened to Chris?
Yeah, and
the Cardinals screwed up. The Cardinals screwed up. They could have had, and they wouldn't trade Dylan Carlson for him. But if they, what's his face? It's his Yankee.
Soto.
Yeah, Soto.
Yeah, Juan Soto.
There's your star. I don't care. St. Louis fans come for stars. They do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we don't have a star anymore. And if they sign, I'm serious. If they sign Goldschmidt, I don't know if I can watch the Cardinals next year. And not because I hate Goldschmidt. I don't hate him. But it's time to move on.
I don't really want to be able to see Goldschmidt in the decline of his career.
No, he's
that
done,
we are going to
dude.
see that happen.
If they re-sign him, it makes me so sour. I'm already sour. I haven't been to a game. I haven't been to one this year.
Well, I was actually a little bit worried about when Pujols came back to finish his career, and I'm like, man, I hope he didn't come back to St. Louis and just crap all over his legacy in that final year.
Well,
Thankfully, he didn't.
Sure as heck did. I don't know what.
That's because he's the main.
I don't know what he did.
The Mang.
Can you imagine if he would have never left? My Lord.
I know.
So
he never should have. Never should have, because again, DeWallet should have said, "Here's a blank check. Tell me what you want."
Yeah, he should be out there with Musial. He should have never played in another jersey. He should have never played in another jersey.
But
no, we're not in a total rebuild yet. But
I will maintain that a lot of this is solved with, while there needs to be changes in the dugout, but this whole thing, I think, gets much better with an organizational change in the front office. I think if Mo's out and there's some different organizational policies, I think this is a different story.
Well,
maybe we're not mismanaged.
Okay, what policies? Because policies don't score runs. Policies don't throw strikes.
Their policy is this. Let's just get in. And because like a team last year, like Arizona, and in the last like 5 or 6 years, you've had some middle-of-the-road teams win World Series. So all they're saying is, if we get in, we have a chance, Cardinal fans. So we're just doing enough to try to get in, and then, what happens, happens. No, go for the jugular. Be like the Yankees. Be like the Dodgers. I'm not saying you got to spend the money they're spending, but at least attempt to win. Attempt to go for it.
I'm not even saying that. I'm talking things like the organizational policy that they want, the organizational philosophies, I should say, is a better way to say it. Philosophy of look at pitches, see more pitches, the whole bit. And it's like Goldschmidt, I think I read this stat. Goldschmidt is hitting like 320 on first pitch, 310 on second pitch. And from there, it drops down to like 240 when it's at the third pitch of the account, and it keeps getting more. They just excruciatingly want to look for walks, and they're staring at pitches in the middle and swinging it.
Well, they said it on
in the dirt.
That's funny you say that. I don't know if you listened to ESPN today, but they were talking about how the Cardinals batters are up there begging for walks. They're looking at too many pitches. They're not swinging at first pitch fastball strikes. And I mean, I don't agree with my brother Dave a whole lot, but he said there needs to be changes. Molina and Holiday wouldn't even coach here. I mean, I think that does say a lot when someone like Holiday, I know Holiday's got a lot of other stuff going on, but people don't want to come here right now. And this Jordan Walker thing is going to make it worse.
So do you do a complete overhaul of the roster? Do you just say complete burn everything to the ground.
Nope.
Say
No,
on the
you
top.
got too much. No, you got too many. No,
it's a remodel, not a rebuild. In the
Okay,
sense that
explain
there's parts
that.
of
Give
it that
me-
need
give-
to be removed. You have good parts of this roster. They're just not being used correctly.
I mean,
It's
you
Walker's on the roster, play him. Victor
Play
Scott's on the
one.
roster, play him.
Play him.
You got
Your
Wynn at
shortstop,
It's like
play him.
you should have Burleson at first.
3, 4.
I got no
Burleson.
problems with Contreras behind the plate. You
Nope,
can play
not
Gorman
bad.
or Donovan at second. You can play Gorman at second and Donovan at third for that matter if you needed to.
Okay. Okay.
The pitching staff needs a little bit of help.
A little.
in that
You got 7 dudes out of a
Seven-
25-man
seven out of-
roster.
Well, you
That's-
still have. We still
No,
haven't
burn
said
it down is
Newbar.
like 20 out of 25. But
And-
we've got. I'm not going through the whole
Oh, it
roster here,
is?
Pat, just to prove your point.
What are you talking?
Okay.
Huh?
You got Sonny Gray, who I know when
Okay,
he's
there's
been
8.
bad.
Zach, stop
Okay.
counting. Stop being that guy.
What?
And our
That's
our
what I
bullpen
said.
is,
You said
our bullpen has been lights out until they've been overused now.
They've
But
been overused.
They were
Yes.
lights out, man. And you had some pieces there. There's pieces here.
I
You
think.
just-
I think Sonny Gray is a good number 2 pitcher in a rotation,
yes,
and I think
not number
everybody slid back a spot in the rotation. All right, maybe Lance Lynn out completely.
Chris just keeps
and
going in and out,
And Michaelis out completely. Got Michaelis out completely. I think they're in adding another true front end of the rotation. I think everybody sliding back makes this better. That's why it's not a blow up. Don't ship everybody out and blow it up.
Kevin, that's
throw the
part of
baby
the
out with
problem.
the bathroom.
That's part of the problem. That's part of why there is so much animosity with Cardinal fans is, yeah, you got Sonny Gray, and we all looked at that and went, that's a good pickup, right? Sonny Gray. But you didn't go and get Blake Snow. You didn't go and get anyone else. You needed 2. And you a-holes went and got him and then 2 old geezers and put them in there. And like, I love Lance Lynn. If he's my 5, not my 4 or 3, and we just Cardinal fans are tired of being number 2 and everything. Well, we tried. Oh, well, we did. No, screw you. Go and spend the money and get a guy. Get a guy.
This is why I'm saying the front office is more of the issue here than Ollie in the dugout. Ollie is the scapegoat for a lot of this, but this is on Mo and his organizational philosophies of, I want to see if I just can't, what's the best value for the little bit of money I can spend in order to make
said
myself
it.
look better.
Value, huh?
Well, yeah, value. That sounds like somebody else. But and what you're right, value. That philosophy can't win championships in the market today. You have
Here's
to
why.
go about it differently.
Because you don't have the pieces to win in the postseason. Okay.
Well,
They talked about
Glad
on the
you
radio
said that.
today. San Diego, with all the moves that they made at deadline time, now have probably the best back end, best relief, best bullpen. When they get into a short series, they've got the pitching.
Well, part of that pitching came that they got in return was when they had all of these superstars that they spent all this money on, realized that's not sustainable, and they shipped them out for all these prospects. Here we are a couple of years later. Those prospects are now high-end players. It's also about talent recognition. Why are we trading, Randy Arozarena, and then, we're getting back Liberatore in return? Is he really as big a prospect as what he should have been at that time? Because that's been a massive failure. Was it worth trading Sandy Alcantara for?
We haven't even talked about another philosophy, Kevin, that we do. Pitch to contact. We get these guys that pitch to contact. We don't get guys that strike people out. We don't get guys that blow it by you. You're getting 10 Ks in a start. We don't go for them guys. We got this guy. He pitches a lot of ground balls. we're just that's how we're gonna play.
That's why I said. So again, Kevin, explain to me how this isn't not a complete fire sale, but outside of 7 guys, 8 guys.
There's more than 7. Zach.
Zach, I'm not going through the whole roster just to say. No, I'm not doing that because we're grown adults here, and I'm not doing this to satisfy your need to prove a damn point. What I'm saying,
but that's what we're doing. We're talking about the roster.
We already told you: Burleson, Gorman.
Yeah, I know.
Wynn, Donovan, Walker, Victor.
You stopped counting because. Oh, there's an echo.
Yeah, there was an echo.
But I'm not doing the counting thing. It's not a whole thing. The front office needs to be blown up and rebuilt. The coaching staff needs to be blown up and rebuilt. That type of thing. The team itself, I think the 40-man roster isn't awful. I think you can probably 10 people can go and never come back, and then you can fill them with better selection of the front end superstar type of things. There.
Why is Brandon Crawford even on this roster still?
Why is Matt Carpenter still on the team?
Cheap.
Well, Matt Carpenter,
no,
I'm fine.
I don't buy that either, Zach. It's not cheap because Crawford is Brendan Donovan in 13 years.
Right?
Yes.
Gorman,
I still want to see Gorman given a chance to just go and do his thing, and he's not given the chance to go and do his thing. I don't think he's had 2 years to get better
with him
because
they're
handcuffing him.
Just put him out there. I don't care if it's a lefty. I don't care if it's a righty. Just let him bat. If he's Kyle Schwarber and bats 200 and hits 40 dongs, I'm fine with that.
Put him in the 7th spot in the order. He doesn't have to hit 3 or 4.
I'd put him in. I'd put him in the lineup every day. But
do you think playing these guys that and I'm trying to get you to talk your debate. Do you think playing these guys that have throughout the season have struggled? Do you just say, okay, well, if we play them every day, they're gonna get out of their funk? I mean,
they've been saying that.
Not in their mid-30s.
They've been saying that about Goldschmidt and Arenado all year.
Right. Yeah. Why? Because that's the guys they paid.
Okay, but Goldschmidt this is the last year of his contract.
I know.
So you piss him off. Who cares? I'm worried about the Cardinals, not freaking Goldschmidt. So sit down, enjoy it, be a leader in the clubhouse, and shut your mouth. Let's play someone else.
Get better.
Here, Goldschmidt, we're going to pay you the rest of your contract, but you're going to have a hamstring pull that's going to put you on the IL for the rest of the year.
Ouch! It hurts.
So go home, spend time with your wife and kids before you go on to your next city and you end up playing in Cincinnati or God knows Texas. All right, go do that. Go back to Arizona.
Cincinnati made us look like clowns. I mean, you kidding me? Made us look like clowns. We're terrible.
Middle fastballs for every. Hey, let's blow it by him. My 87-mile-per-hour fastball will go right through that.
How do you sit there and look at that many fastballs and not swing?
Looking for walks.
Because they're told they can't. Got to see more pitches.
Kill it. Just kill it.
I know I'm not a baseball guy, but I'm the guy that I'm the guy that says the first meat pitch you see, you hammer that son of a gun.
Well, everybody, they'll say, well, you gotta let him get the pitcher deep into count so he gets his pitch count up. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter how high his pitch count is if you hit the ball out of the park 12 times during a game when he throws fastballs down the middle. He'll be out of the game in the 3rd inning. If his pitch counts 20 and gave up 5 bombs and 8 hits, guess what? He's out of the game.
Yep.
Crooked numbers. Yep. That'll get a pitcher out. Speaking of crooked numbers, AP top 25 college football.
Hold on.
Hold
on before we move on.
No.
I'm not moving on. I'll say one thing. All right. I just read this article on Facebook.
God.
Three guys who we could replace Marmol with. One that we should have hired years ago in Terry Francona. Two, second guy, and I know some people are going to maybe sneer at this one, but Carlos Beltran. And your last one, oldie but a goodie, Joe Madden.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter with Mo still constructing his roster.
Well,
I was gonna say that's too much.
Him. And fire him. Let this new guy go. Oh,
I don't think Tito would take. I don't think Tito would take the job because I think it was a health thing. So that's why he's not. Yeah, that's why he's not managing the Indians anymore.
It's a health thing. This roster makes him sick to his stomach.
Well,
there we go.
If I was managing Cleveland right now, I wouldn't make me sick to my stomach. I'd love to have that roster.
Tim Kirchin of ESPN recently reported that Terry Francona would consider returning to the field in the next year.
There we go.
Well, there we go.
But the difference is
they fall in line.
It's just like Schilt, though. They let him go. They fired him because Schilt wasn't going to be a yes man. He's going to be an old school, grind it out, work hard, blue collar. And they're like, nope, we don't.
And Joe Madden, they won't like that either.
They're not going to get through the interview process on this one, and they find this out and find out. Oh, you mean you get to make my lineup for me, and I have to take all the questions? And nope, no, thank you, I'm out.
Right,
I'll go do my cushy TV jobs.
Well, so. I as a Cardinals fan, and we can wrap it up on this if you want. As a Cardinals fan, I am worried for our franchise right now and the state of baseball in St. Louis because of the way the wallet is running this shit. That's what it is. It is SHIT.
Oh,
I told you guys, you're ready to go back to 1990s baseball, a decade of average outside of 96.
I'm still going to end it on 91.
Mark McGuire.
No chance. No chance.
It would at least be enjoyable if we had a Mark McGuire right now.
Right?
Right. Chicks dig the long ball. We don't have girls going to the games. Can't hit the ball out of the park. Can of corn.
Man, that doesn't make the games any fun.
No. College football.
All right. So, AP Top 25. Our beloved Mizzou Tigers. Number 11.
Number 11.
That's in the
It's got to be their highest ranking. That's going to be their highest ranking in since what, Chase Daniel era?
Yeah. Yes. So I think they were preseason 6 or 7. One of the years he was there. Yeah.
I'd have to find my old NCAA, like,
I got
09 or something.
Sporting News. Yeah. Something like that. ESPN the magazine.
How about the SEC? And we're saying because Mizzou's in it. You've got Georgia at number 1, Texas at 4, Alabama at 5, Ole Miss at 6, and then Mizzou at 11. I mean, and then you keep going. LSU at 13. Then you got Tennessee at 15. You've got A&M 20. Okay, I mean, SEC is loaded, fellas.
Somebody tell me the SEC isn't the best.
It's the NFL.
Well, Jim's not here. Jim's not here.
He's on assignment. So yeah. That's.
And I'm telling you right now, still, if Mizzou, and they said it on ESPN the other day, if Mizzou loses one game, they are in. Period. They said
I think
on
that
ESPN.
10 and in. I think 10 and in.
Yep.
Well, they've got the schedule that's set up to do it. Will they do it? Yeah. I don't know. They're Mizzou, and I've had my heart broken by Mizzou before.
Oh, we all have a million times because we're Mizzou fans. That's basketball and football.
Here's the step that they have
Colorado,
to take.
Nebraska, 2 games in particular. Go ahead. Sorry.
Here's the step they have to take, okay? Last year, I know Jason and I think maybe too, Kevin, they were really optimistic and said 9-10 wins, whatever.
I said it.
It was me and Jason. Everybody else was like
you and Jason, right?
I did not.
Now, what happened was that that K-State game when they come out and win early in week 2 or 3, whatever it was,
What a
the kicker
game. That was
makes
awesome.
that
61-yard field goal. Yeah.
right. That catapults them into success they had. Now, to solidify the fact that they're ranked 11th and that they should be a playoff team, they have to win, and they have to win those types of games against those types of opponents and not think or hope that they can win. They have to go out and prove it, whether it's 7, 10, 14 point. Like, they have to have dominating efforts, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially the first 3 weeks, Murray State, Buffalo, and Boston College, if they can set the tone with large wins in those three.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. In those first 3 games last year, in their early games before they played K-State, they were vanilla, guys. They were not trying. I went to that Middle Tennessee game, and they were absolutely – it almost cost them that game because they were so vanilla. They didn't pull any stops or any big plays or anything until they played K-State, really.
Well, they at this point, they were trying to sneak up on some people last year. They're not sneaking up on anybody this year.
So this year, you got to go all out at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I agree with Ron Rhodes. I don't always, but I do on this. Brady, their quarterback's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
He's got to be healthy the entire year. And what they produce at running back, I'm worried about the running back position to see who comes from there. But if their quarterback stays healthy, I mean, Burton right now is 5 in the Heisman.
Yeah.
I don't think he can win a Heisman, but it's hard for a receiver to win a Heisman anymore, it seems. You're a quarterback. It's a quarterback award almost.
To Zach's point, the important game this year, the first important game that if they get by, I think it catapults them, is Week 6 versus Texas A&M.
I agree.
I agree with that.
If they can get by that, they should very much be 5-0 going into that game, and it is at Texas A&M. So that's an important game that if they can win that game, it sets that schedule up later.
And it's a morning game and not a night game, which is a good thing down there.
Yeah, though the crowd can't do all that pregame drinking or anything. They've been pregame.
Challenge accepted.
I was going to say, I've been to a few Mizzou games where they're that 11 or whatever, 12 o'clock start. And there's some people that have been there since 7 a.m., man. I will tell you, that's the other thing up there at Mizzou. They have put some facilities in. It is impressive. It is an awesome atmosphere for a game. Awesome.
Yeah.
So you want to see him play well. I mean, Chris, tell us kind of what your thoughts are. If hopefully maybe internet's working.
Well, it should. I'm on a hot spot right now. I swear to God, I'm gonna have a come apart with Spectrum probably as soon as we get off the air. I'm gonna find somebody who is probably trying to sleep and wake their ass up and tell them how much this shit sucks. I'm that pissed. Sorry, don't care.
I got 18, baby. It's all right.
Yeah, I'm about to switch. I'm tired of this shit. Okay, so Mizzou sitting 11. There's a lot of optimism. I think a lot of people are jumping on the Tiger train. I'm on the Tiger train. I think that they're going to have a good year. I think they're going to be right there. Again, it's all about staying healthy.
It makes you nervous, don't it?
Oh yeah, it always does because you want them to do well. I thought the basketball team would have a good year last year, and we'll let you know how that went.
But hey, after watching their first ball game, and maybe it was Jackson State or somebody, and we commented and said they didn't play a lick of defense. It was going to be a rough year. I mean, that's
still. We're talking preseason stuff. So, I mean, I know Drinkwitz is. I mean, there's a lot of buzz, man, and then talking to people. One of our coaches is from Fox. Is grew up in Columbia. He's got season tickets, and I mean, there's a lot of buzz around the Tigers this season. I mean, a lot. So I think they can. I mean, you got the expanded field. There is a chance to get in, and unlike baseball playoffs, You get in, you never know what can happen here. And they have the talent to compete. Let's not say it's, like the Cardinals and everybody else. These guys, they've got some dudes.
That defensive guy, them losing him though, that hurts.
That does hurt. The defense is my biggest concern. It really is.
And that he was gonna be a big part of that new defense, and that hurts. That was a bad one. When I saw it, oh man. I still think it's gonna be fun, and I sure hope they're like they were last year. I am not as confident as I was last year, though.
Well, I will say this about Mizzou.
Nope.
I am.
But I will say this about Mizzou. I think if you look at the past few years, they are trending in the right direction to be a part of, the higher ups of college football, because they are getting some guys, awesome. and it's fun as a fan. They might slip up, and they might not. They might have a down year of what we're expecting, but they are on the uptick of being a popular choice for people to go and play. And I do have to give Drinkwitz that, because he is making Mizzou a destination.
People are drinking the drink, baby.
There you go, baby.
He's been able to get the board of trustees on board, in essence, and getting the facilities upgraded and built that it takes to recruit, and to be able to get the kids in. And they're kind of just giving him a check and saying, hey, we'll find the donors. What do you need to get this thing in so we can
I tell Dylan
what we need.
I tell Dylan all the time, and I went to Columbia last weekend, and wasn't pleasant because I had a blowout of my car coming back, and found out my car, all the tires on my car were from 2012. So I had to buy 4 new tires to come home.
Oh,
here's what's crazy. Went to Walmart, bought Dylan groceries, almost $3 bills. Left, went to his house, then went out to eat. Me and my ex-wife and her husband, we all went and ate with Dylan, wishing him a good, send him off. I take him back to his apartment. I don't get a mile away from his apartment. I hear this, and then I hear, and my wife's like, that sounds like air. I go, it's a tire. And you hear wop, 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 wop. I'm like, oh my God. So a blue tire. But that town has grown. Oh my gosh, man. All the stuff there. I'm like, Dylan, you have no idea how awesome Columbia is. It's awesome. I sure hope they do live up to this. And the SEC money has helped for sure, Dave Jarvis. Being in that was the best thing that could have happened to Mizzou, was joining the SEC.
Well, it's better than being in the Big 12 right now. I mean, think about look at the class the people. Zach read all those schools off, and how many SEC teams are in the top 25? Yeah, I mean, it's there's no other conference that can compete with that. You're getting that kind of money. You've got people on board. You've got a coaching staff. I mean, they are bought in. They're all in on the Tigers and the football team and the facilities, and bringing people to the middle of the state. And I'm going to tell you right now, Jason, you know this as well as I do. There ain't a lot else to do. I mean, Mizzou, Missouri, Central Missouri is not a destination spot, especially when it starts getting colder. Okay. I moved up there, and I'm like, do you have any questions? I'm in an interview for a job, and it's like, yeah, do you guys get any snow here? We get a little bit of snow. It snowed 2 feet of freaking snow in the 2 weeks. Everything was shut down. I mean, it's like, what? So it's not exactly like a destination hotspot. It's not Kansas City. It's not,
Dude, we had some fun
St. Louis
when it snowed in Fayette, man. Woo!
But I'm just saying, if you're talking like, can I go sit on the beach and be somewhere in Florida or warm weather, or do I want to go where it's freaking cold as hell? Mizzou is not exactly like pulling the right strings.
Listen,
but,
they're not the only one. It's not like Fayetteville is a place that you just need to be as well in Arkansas.
Right.
I agree. I'm saying
you can't even compare us to Arkansas right now. Come on now.
No, I'm just saying, if he's going to say you're talking about, it's not like Mizzou's the only school that's in the middle of nowhere with nothing around.
Hey,
yeah,
they are busy. They are busy
Iowa,
24/7.
Iowa, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Cornfields and pigs, right?
Hey, it's a
Lawrence,
great time.
Kansas. Yes,
it's a great time to be a Mizzou fan, and I truly think the basketball program is going to turn around this year. And it's awesome to live in this state now and to see everyone kids are wanting from our state are wanting to go to Mizzou right now, and that's because of Burden. Burden, when it comes to football, it's Burden coming to Mizzou was a big deal.
One, the Inwari, the 5-star defensive end, I think apparently they've read I read after he signed, they've gotten 4 or 5 more 4 and 5 stars to agree to come since he had signed his NIL.
Hey,
just
dude,
in that class.
They're gonna have to pay Drink more. They're gonna have to pay him again. You watch.
Back up the Brinks truck so nobody else comes and gets him. So he doesn't end up at LSU or at Ole Miss or
they keep winning. They're
Auburn.
gonna have to buck up again.
I bet you he may end up back. He may end up at Tennessee at some point just because if they don't tend to win too much.
Heupel's doing well. No, I mean you're gonna get.
No, but Tennessee, the Tennessee fan base have unrealistic expectations.
Auburn,
Heupel's done well. Hey, now listen, Auburn has me scared a little bit with Hugh Freeze in year 2. They're talking about they got a lot of those guys back. So again, talk about trap games. That's going to be one on the schedule. But Mizzou, if they have another excellent year, they get into the playoff. If you're Drink, where would you leave? Like if you left, where would you go? Because you're going to be a top 12 team, maybe top 10 team getting in the playoff with how things work out. You're not going to go anywhere else in the SEC that's won. I mean, would you leave Mizzou for Florida, I guess, if they're that bad?
Show me the money.
If Florida dumps a truckload of money at him,
right,
and then a truckload of NIL money to go with it, yes,
Zach,
that'd be about it.
Zach,
yeah,
cream. Cash rules everything around me.
Dollar bills,
Stacks
y'all.
of cash.
I know.
Yeah,
stacks.
Okay,
Wu-Tang Clan.
As a coach,
Wu-Tang Clan.
On the cream note.
As a coach, do you leave a gig where you're winning to take money?
Yeah.
Or do you say I want to win?
Wait a minute. What am I making now? What am I making then? What's my window?
But you're definitely going to use that to go, hey,
you're a coach. You've got decades.
Well, here's what I'll say is
hold on. Coaches don't always have decades, bro.
They just not as a head coach. They go to the NFL as a coordinator.
Listen,
they go to college as a coordinator.
If Drink was he would not go to Ohio State. Jim would flip his lid. But if Drink was somehow connected to Mizzou in his past for some various reason, like he's Mizzou made or whatever, he probably would not leave for just leave for the money. He would have some legacy that he want to be part of. The fact that he has no past connection to Missouri, he's rebuilt the program. He's got, if somebody else is going to pay him a ton of money in a recruiting hotbed like Florida, I would mention a guess, and it's a challenge to rebuild it. He seems like the kind of guy that would take that type of challenge for a large sum of money.
I just don't think
I'm going to answer Zach's question. I'm going to answer Zach's question. I'm taking the damn money. Okay. I am 40. I'm 40 years old. I'll be 41 years old.
Man,
I'm going to take as much money at this point in my life as I can. If they're going to pay me, by God, let's go. Give me that cash.
I am definitely with you. I'm 48, and if they offer me the money, I'm gone.
See ya.
And then you're fired in 3, 2.5. When you could have stayed. When you could have stayed for 20 years.
No.
Huh?
Right now, if I get 3 years and I get a lot of money, what does that do for the back end of my life, Zach? I make a lot more money. So I'm going to go with that.
Stuff you can't even spend.
Doesn't matter. I can't spend money when I'm 80. Why?
No, I'm saying you got so much money you can't spend it. That's what I'm saying.
I can find a way to spend it.
Yet.
I'm sorry. I don't have those first world problems. This is not Brewster's Millions. Come on, man.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, if Chris had $80 million, he'd spend it on an internet connection. I'll tell you that.
Damn right, I'd buy Spectrum. Buy that piece of shit company.
You know how cool it'd be if one of us hit the lotto and we could just buy a high school and just run it?
There's several that I thought if I did that, what I do is I donate and I said, here, I McVey Sports Complex or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I'll donate.
It would be like
that, you got to have my name on front of it.
It would be like that. That school outside New Orleans, John Curtis High School, who they've been a football power for years, but the school was started in the '60s by a guy named John Curtis, and he hired his son John Curtis Jr. to be the football coach. So yeah, Zach's just gonna name the school after himself and then name himself the coach. He can never be fired.
Hey, Chris,
just
what
as
we would
good
do.
as
If we won the lotto, what we do is we get a statue of you and me, and we put it up at the View.
Hey, here's Zach's.
Zach, if Zach had that kind of money, Zach would buy a company that produced virtual professional development videos for schools to buy, and it would be applicable PD for teachers, and
in an
would
email.
love it. And it's basically stuff that you can put in an email. And that's all it is. It's like, it's like a bad Tom and Mansky video, but he's This is the PD that gets results.
Dude, that is one thing I have been happy about Duncan R5, dude. Our PD so far has been excellent.
Yep. All right, kids. Well, it's we've had a
we've
long
done a
show,
2-hour show, baby. It's amazing.
I haven't done
What are we
one.
thinking? We got work tomorrow, guys. It's bedtime.
Hey, it's amazing how long we can go without Jim Powers here.
Yeah. Well, he's on assignment. Maybe he'll be back next week. Maybe I'll have better internet next week. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know about that. You go unless you go down to South
Will
Iron.
you be at the farm? Yeah.
Go to the farm,
Starlink.
maybe.
I'm about to buy Starlink right here. That's all there is to it. It's better internet, I won't tell you.
I can't believe your charter is that bad.
Not Charter, it's Spectrum. It's
same thing. Charter
That's the same
Spectrum.
company.
I don't know what to tell you. Might as well be singular. Holy hell, it's terrible.
What was that one before?
Farted to the ground.
Instead of Starlink, he's got half a star. That's what it is.
I think my first cell phone was
Maniacal
like a
pillow
Ameritech
fight.
or something.
Yeah. He's got one of those
Anyway,
Motorola razors.
We're getting off
He's
of here.
got AOL
Yeah.
dial-up over there.
Whatever. It's about what it was like a while ago. It's like it crashed and it was so bad. All of a sudden, I see this. It goes from all green to just red on my end. I'm like, well, piss. Oh,
Yeah, your echo, like you would say something, we'd hear it, but your mouth wouldn't move for like another minute later.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
I guess that happens.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Quality production by you.
Quality. Yeah, we're all about
value. Value.
Best
High,
value.
high value.
Great Japanese dubbed movie right there.
I might as well have been saying Godzilla was attacking. Like that.
Right.
All
The
right.
Chinese were attacking your internet.
Oh Lord. All right. Well, appreciate you guys tuning in for the Coach's Box and what you saw or heard of it. Hopefully, it wasn't terrible. Good Lord willing, and nothing crazy happens. We'll be back next week with another episode. So make sure you guys tune in. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, to subscribe and like. If you're watching on X, go ahead and click on our profile. You can see our link tree stuff. It's all there, so you can see all of our outlets. Listen to us all for free. Everything is free. Nothing's behind a paywall. God forbid you'd pay for this. You'd be really pissed off. So anyway, for all the guys, appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of the Coach's Box. Have a wonderful night, and God bless you. We'll see you all later.
This episode of the Coach's Box, Call It Like We See It podcast is brought to you by Off the Rails Media. Life's more fun when you're off the rails.